Hey there, this is Rich. In today's video, we're going to be covering how to write a product manager resume for entrepreneurs that are coming back into the job market. And I'm going to be referencing this entire resume template here. This is actually, I think, one of the final videos that we're having in this playlist. So if you are an entrepreneur, definitely go ahead and reach out to us. But I've been covering this entire series for everybody from management consultants, salespeople, digital marketers, e-commerce professionals, customer success managers, hardware product managers, data analysts, software engineers, project managers, business analysts, and all of these different resources. Basically, you can go with product operations managers, ultimately entrepreneurs. All of it can go ahead and be found and referenced out here in my school. There's a reference resume template for all of these different positions. And then finally, I have this Airtable template here to go ahead and help you craft some additional bullets if you don't like the ones that I've used so far. With that said, let's get to it. Skills portion on top, experience, education, certifications. With all of this said, if the first thing you're asking me is like, oh, 2-page resume, listen, you see this, 3 to 5 testimonials a week, and you see this, I challenge you to find another company that in our racket where we have more testimonials than we do. Our thing works because I was a recruiter before, and I know exactly what companies want to go out there and see, and we've been doing this for 7.5 years. So rest assured, I take your job hunt very seriously. This is the resume template that you should be using. But your biggest concern as a former founder going back into the job market should not be page length. The biggest concern for you should be your two things. Number one is, what are you targeting salary-wise? And then number two, your titles. This is actually the biggest drawback when I notice that founders are making when they're trying to transition back into the job market. Number one, obviously, it's a very emotional time because you've been used to being your own boss. I'm also my own boss. And I can 100% empathize with how stressful it must be with you dealing with all this crazy shit that's going on. And also at the same time, you're thinking to yourself whether or not you should be making this transition. And yeah, that must be very nerve-wracking. I have a lot of compassion for that. But having said that though, my responsibility is to give you the best information to help you get this job for the most amount of money with the best company in the shortest amount of time. And I'm going to go out there and set out to do that. In your experience, you really should refrain from utilizing titles such as founder, CEO, and head of product. The reason for that is this. A lot of product managers a lot of founders that I meet going back into the job market, here's the reality of the situation. Your target salary, a lot of times, that's why I also schedule a consultation with us. Like, a lot of times they don't even know what they should be targeting salary-wise, but it's not an outrageous number. When you drop head of product, they immediately think north of 300K. And that's going to go ahead and omit you from the race. That's going to price yourself out of the market very quickly. So you don't want to go ahead and do that. You want to go ahead and give yourself a product manager title because you want to focus on the fact that you were doing product management. When you call yourself a former founder, when you call yourself a CEO, when you call yourself co-founder, the entire conversation leads to one thing. Why did your business fail? Why are you looking for a job? Why should we give you a shot? Are you going to go ahead and leave us? Because all of this comes from this one motivation. Entrepreneurs are rock star product managers because entrepreneurs are very good at solving problems. Entrepreneurs are very good at solving problems because all they do every single day is solve problems that their quote-unquote so-called employees are supposed to be solving for them, but nobody is taking ownership. So you stretch that muscle. Like, if you're an Olympic archer, obviously your freaking right arm is going to be massive. That one muscle that you're constantly stretching over and over again, you're definitely going to be a rock star at it. The only problem is this. The overwhelming data from recruiting and hiring states this, that most founders eventually go back to being a co-founder or a founder of another business within 1 year. And this is due to the fact that either their ego is so big that they do not want to take orders from anybody else. Or number two, they feel so boring because they easily crush this job and they're looking for that next rush and adventure. Or number three, for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out. Now, I know what some of you are going to be thinking watching this video. No, Rich, I did that. I was burnt out. I'm just looking for a job right now. I'm telling you this. I do care. They don't. And in a long list of candidates right now, everybody is doing one thing: accessing risk. We want to make sure that you are the lowest risk option. So let's just not open up that can of worms. The resume descriptions here, you are free to go ahead and use, but your biggest drawback compared to all the other positions is going to be, and watch all my other YouTube videos for all of the other positions. I talk about focusing on the areas that they need to compensate in where there's going to be the most bias. I'm telling you right now, for founders, it's going to be the title. You know, all of these other resume bullets, you can go out there and kind of tick and talk and rearrange however it is that you want. Your biggest drawback is going to be your title and really crafting your story. At the very bottom here, I've included education, but also certifications. I would say a SQL certification is actually pretty sufficient for a former founder that's coming back into it. If you want additional certifications, we can very easily add in these two here. But to make yourself look a little bit more rock star, make sure that you're fully loaded on the AI side. But your biggest drawback isn't going to be this either. Your biggest drawback is telling your story of how you went from your last company to your current company. And what you're looking for in your next position and your next challenge. And for that, we need to have a very in-depth conversation. This is actually why I'm saving this for the very last video of this entire series. Because compared to all the other roles that we have, there's a lot of nuances that we have to deal with in terms of a former founder to go ahead and actually make this transition correct. So if you want to go ahead and access all these resources, the link is in the description for my school community. If you're ready to go ahead and finally take your product manager job hunt to the next level so we can help you expedite your job hunt, contact us immediately. Schedule a call. We would love to go ahead and talk to you. And if you just want to go ahead and ping me on LinkedIn and go out there and shoot the shit, my LinkedIn handle is in the YouTube description as well. I'm looking forward to speaking with you very soon. My name is Rich. I'm one of the co-founders of Product Gym. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in our next video.